If you weren't sure on some of the steps, go ahead and get your steps down and then get my attention later if you're having trouble with any of these. These are pretty important that we're comfortable solving equations like this because they're going to come up a lot in our work. Gotcha. Wait a second. Oh, 135. Sorry. Okay. And I'll talk about an example of something you're going to see on your test, which is coming up very shortly, where we have to solve some equations. So let's do this. I got x's on. So you guys remember the three things I told you last time? The three things you want to do anytime you're solving an equation. Number one is parentheses, which we don't have in this. Number two is like terms. And we don't have any like terms on the same side over here or over here. So, and then number three is variable on both sides, which we do have x's on both sides of the equal sign. So we'll deal with that first. I think I'm going to get rid of the minus 14. So I'm going to go plus 14x on both sides. And then I won't have any more x's over here. So 21x minus 14 equals 28. And now we don't have parentheses, we don't have like terms, and we don't have variables on both sides. Now we're ready to solve this thing. So then from here, you're just working to get that x by itself, which you guys have done a million times by now. What is that, 42, I hope. And divide by 21 to get x equals 2. Any questions on that first one? You guys all showing your steps in between? Seems like we're pretty good about that. Your teachers drilled that into you last year. All right, this one involves parentheses, so we do have to get rid of parentheses first here. A very common mistake would be to do this 5 minus 2 first. We can't combine that 5 with that negative 2, though, because the negative 2 is actually multiplying by something, so it's not a like term. The 5's not multiplying by anything, but the negative 2 is. So we actually need to distribute this negative 2 first. So if you made that mistake, if you combine the 5 and the negative 2 first, congratulations, you made the super common mistake. You got that out of your way, learn from it, and don't make it again. Right? I firmly believe if you make a mistake and you can learn from it, you never have to worry about making that again. So, we'll just, the 5 is going to stay. And I'll multiply the negative 2 times the 2 to get negative 4. Negative 2 times positive 2x would be negative 4x equals. And we have parentheses over here too. There's a little invisible 1 in front of this parentheses. I would think of this as a negative 1 that is also distributing into there. So negative 1 times x is negative 1x. Negative 1 times positive 8 is negative 8. So that should be our first step there. Any questions about that first step? So if you just corrected a mistake, go ahead and finish this up. Looks like you do have some like terms that you can combine in your next step. Try and do it on your own. If you're not sure, you can go ahead and watch, but otherwise try and do it on your own. So I got some like terms there. It's a 1. X is on both sides. We need to deal with that. What do I want to get rid of? I like to deal with positive stuff, so I'm going to get rid of the more negative thing because I think that'll end up with a positive x's. But if you got rid of the negative 1x, that's going to work out for you just as well. You should get the same answer. Now that we got x by itself, just finish up the last couple steps and get rid of that other stuff over there. Any questions on number 2? Questions?